Welcome back to Priceless Properties, your weekly guide on housing markets, trends, and conditions. A show that provides exclusive insight into the LA real estate market. Once again, we have the pleasure of having our expert host. My English is still confusing, sorry. Gloria Castellanos
Woo, woo.
and Jean-Baptiste Ruggiero.
All right.
Back with us to share their wealth of knowledge and expertise.
Let's do this. How exciting.
Yeah.
Second week too, guys. Week
We,
two.
yeah, and in our last episode, Gloria and JB gave us a glimpse into their backgrounds and experience in the industry. Today, we'll be building upon that foundation as we delve even deeper into the nuances and complexities of the LA real estate market. Let's go, guys. Let's get started.
Let's do it.
Yes, welcome back.
All right.
It's your weekly guide of the housing market trends and conditions, right?
Exactly.
This thing is getting real.
It's-
Second week, all right.
Oh my gosh, so much happened this week, so we have a lot to talk about. So let's talk a little bit about what's in the agenda today, because we have quite a bit in the agenda today. So definitely share this link with anybody that you think is interested in the economy and housing and everything in between. So it was a really big week for the economy and housing. So the market update is going to be super packed with a lot of information. The CPI inflation report came out, which is the Consumer Price Index, came out on Wednesday for 12. Mortgage applications showed a sign that it was rising. They were rising, so mortgage rates dropped. We're going to be talking about inventory, home prices, and we're also going to be doing our mortgage minute. Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah, we can call that the mortgage minute.
Our mortgage minute with our guest Stephen Mays, and of course, you don't want to miss a peek into what we have at the end. You want to give them a little glimpse into that?
36, guys, 36 million.
Woo!
Wow.
Yes,
All right.
can't wait to see that one.
Yeah. So,
Let's do a little recap. Let's get started on the market update. Let's do a little recap first of what we showed everybody last week. The PDF of the inventory. So you could see there side to side, February of 2023.
yeah, the numbers just got out for March, and we're going to be able to compare and discuss.
So there you have it. We are still in a seller's market. And if you compare, I mean, look at the difference right there. So February, 2.4 months of inventory. And the list to sold price was 99.3%. So pretty much your asking price. You were 22 days on the market. That's your average days on market. And your median sold price was 1.250. And look at March, JB.
So March, less time on the market. Less inventory available, better prices, and a little less days on the market. Not much of a difference, but
Well, you see the increase on the list to sold price, 0.1%. That means people were getting over asking, and your average days on market went down. So they're selling faster, and then your median sold price went up over $100,000.
yeah. So what I really like when you compare those two graphs, it's you can see the red arrow for the month of inventory. So it's 2 months in a row going down. So it keeps going down on the month of inventory available. Then at the same time, the list to sold price is up 2 months in a row, and the median days is down 2 months in a row. So it's very, how to say that? It shows you that the market is getting more and more difficult for buyers, even though this year we were expecting the market to get a little better for buyers. So it's surprising, I would say.
We were expecting more inventory to come to market, and it's been a slower process to see that. Not much is out there available for buyers. So for sellers, it's still a great time to put your property on the market and get, record price. So, I mean, that is just some interesting numbers. Send us your questions on the chat. Let us know what your questions are. Are you out there? Are you shopping? Are you having a difficult time with placing your offers? We're seeing, a little bit of both, but majority on any entry level pricing capacity, you're seeing those high multiple offers.
Yeah, and let's just mention that this is for City of LA, so it doesn't include Beverly Hills, I guess.
Yes, we're covering in general. This is a general LA area. If you have a specific city, then we would, what JB and I do is do a breakdown of like the local market data in your area. But this is just giving you a general bird's eye view of what we're seeing in LA.
Yeah. So for today, of course, we're seeing LA, and stay tuned with us over the next few weeks. We'll go deeper into some very specific areas, of course, the city of Beverly Hills. But not only, we'll switch to other very cool areas, and you might learn some stuff about some of the key markets of LA. So
Yes,
and
what does that mean? Of course, like Philippe, like you not being in the market, and you're like, what the heck are all these numbers? What are they? What are you guys talking about,
Yeah.
right? Well, basically, preparation right now is key, and we're going to be, sharing some of those tips. Especially when we bring our guest. Stephen Mays, our lender, because preparation right now is key to be able to ready to act. I think right now we're in a market where buyers and sellers need to be prepared for the velocity in order that they need to make a decision as soon as they enter the market.
Yes, yes.
And they have to do it quickly, no? Because
So yeah, we've rarely seen such a volatile market. It's been up and down for the past 6 months. It's very surprising. So again, like Gloria mentioned, right now is a really good time for sellers. We didn't think it would be this way, but it is. There's no inventory on the market. As we mentioned last week, people don't want to sell their property where they have a 3% rate mortgage to get into another property at a 6.5% rate mortgage. So that's why the inventory is so low. But at the meantime, we're going to talk about that later in the show. There's some movement on the mortgage rates and the inflation, and that might change the market again soon. So obviously, it seems like there's going to be more buyers in the next few months because of the drop in the mortgage rates.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, will that push the inventory up a little bit? I think so. So what's going to be the impact on the market? We'll see that. But,
Yeah, we have some really interesting headlines. Let me just say what Zillow is saying right now. Home price growth accelerated in March as competition heated up over record low new listings. So it's just what we just said. There is not much inventory out there. You're seeing multiple offers, and you do have those buyers that are frustrated, right? That are dealing with the issues of not getting into their dream home.
tell me about it. I just want to mention I lost another bidding war this week.
Oh no!
14 offers on a condo in West LA, and then we ended up second. So that's a bummer. But it is what it is,
But you never
We'll
know.
get
I
another
mean,
one.
if once you can put yourself in a backup position,
We did,
right?
we did.
You did. Okay. So you never know. I mean, a lot of these. Things are changing so rapidly, as I said, that buyers and sellers need to be prepared to make these decisions because they're happening so quickly. Let's say the rates went up and you weren't prepared. You weren't in communication with your lender. You didn't lock in your rate, and your payment went up, and then you no longer qualify. That particular escrow can fall out of escrow just because of that one mistake, and then that gives you, as a backup position, the advantage to be able to get into the game field. Right? So a lot of details. I think right now, more than ever, it's important for you to be aligned with an expert that understands the market, understands everything that's happening with the economy and your local market to be able to guide you as you move along, which way you're dealing with. So, okay, now.
so now Do you want me to show you something? Oh.
Yeah, let's show basically the mortgage applications. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
This?
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about this when Steven gets in here, but just to show you, this was April 12th, 2023 by MBA. Mortgage applications increased based on their last survey. That's huge.
That's huge, and I think because of the interest rates going down since January, slowly, it gets buyers back to their lenders, and they're considering. So I think the flow of buyers is going to be steady and increase. It's going to increase over the next few months. At the same time, it should help us with inventory. So we'll see.
Yes, because so I don't know if many of you got to see the CPI report came out on Wednesday, April 12th. Something many of us have been waiting for, and basically cooled to 5%, which is good news for the Fed, right? If you look at the headline of the Wall Street Journal, I don't think.
Yeah, I think we're going to put that on the screen in a second.
The Wall Street?
Wall Street Journal. Well, basically, the U.S. inflation eased up to 5%, guys. So for those of you that may not know what the CPI is, the Consumer Price Index, it measures the overall change in prices paid by consumers for goods and services. So now, just to put that in perspective, I'll give you a brief summary. The Fed's goal is to get inflation down to 2%, okay? And in June of 2022, we were at the peak inflation of 9.1. And every single month since, we've seen that number continue to go down. So disinflation is happening slowly, but it's happening. I think at 5%, and their goal is 2%. I think that's very optimistic. So we'll see what the Fed does in the next meeting. But why is it important? As we see signs of inflation slowing, mortgage rates are starting to come down, and we see it on these headlines.
Yes.
Right? And I'm curious to see like what Steven has to say.
I think we should have Steve in that conversation because the topic today is so much about what's happening on the market because of the rates, because of that inflation. Steven's expertise will help us a lot. So let's get Steven on the camera. I think he's getting ready.
Hello, Steven.
Steven, this week we have you for real on video.
There he is.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Wore
Steve.
a festive shirt for today.
All right.
Steven, a lot has been going on this week. A lot of data, a lot of information. The CPI report, inflation report came in that we are lower, which is a great sign for our economy, right?
Yep.
And rates went down, according to Housing Wire. I'm hearing from some lenders that pricing on mortgages, it's great rates right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As always, Gloria knows her financial data. So the
data could be boring, right?
Yeah, but you know it. So the key factor when it comes to mortgage rates is it's based off of a number of economic factors, but the primary one that drives mortgage rates in either direction is a concept that impacts all of us. Like when we go to Starbucks for a Frappuccino, it's all about inflation. Inflation is the key indicator of whether or not mortgage rates are going to go up or down. And to make it really simple, the lower inflation, the lower mortgage rates go. Mm-hmm. So it's a double win. When we get, like Gloria said, a positive inflation report, which we did this week, it meant that interest rates are going down. And then also, hopefully the cost of our turkey sandwiches go down too. So it's a double win.
Sure about that.
But the main concept I want to focus on today is that there's a perception that rates are just super, super high, that there's so many buyers just waiting on the sidelines because they think they keep reading mortgage press reports. And if you Google mortgage rates, you'll see it says, oh, 7.5%. That is not accurate. If you are a strong buyer with good income and good credit, some of the private lenders you're looking in the low fives for a jumbo 30-year fixed right now. So it's not the 7%. It's not, there's every single individual is different. When people ask me what the rate is, I say, well, it depends upon your credit score, depends upon your job, and depends upon, believe it or not, the credit score of your spouse.
Yeah, your profile.
Yeah, it's all about the profile. And one of the key things that buyers need to be aware of is obviously what we talked last week is making sure your credit score is in good shape. Protect your credit score like a newborn baby. You want to, because that makes a huge difference when you go to price out a loan. So you got to be very careful if you're a consumer listening to this. Make sure you pay all your bills on time. Make sure that if you have credit cards, don't buy that many turkey sandwiches. Try not to max out your credit cards.
Or don't go buy a car.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Or any big ticket, high price ticket item while you're going through this process, right?
Happened to me twice in 5 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's you'd be stunned. People are buying houses, and what they don't realize is that we pre-approve them for the loan on day one, and then the day before we go to close the purchase, we run credit again, and it's astonishing. People are buying Maseratis, they're buying boats, they're buying the highest end refrigerators. I'm like, don't do that. Let us buy the house first.
I mean, so many questions about that. Like with everything happening right now, what is your advice to buyers that are in the market already, that you've already pre-qualified, that they're maybe putting offers and they're active on the market, and to buyers that want to get in the market? I feel like a lot of them that do want to buy are in the sidelines, and I don't know. I feel it's scared for them to talk to a lender. They feel like they're doing their taxes. I think I heard you say that.
Yeah,
nobody wants to talk to their accountant or their CPA
or the lender. Yeah, the only
I
good news is that you're right. A lot of times I don't take it personally. They're like, oh, it's going to be like root canal. The good news is that all the mortgage companies right now are highly automated, and we can take an application electronically in 5 minutes. We have software where we can literally link up their bank accounts to our application, so they don't even have to pull statements. We typically connect with their CPA to get email copies of the tax return. So if you really think about it, all they're doing is that they're not watching Netflix for 5 minutes, and they're filling out an application, and we're getting documents from their CPA. We can get documents directly from the bank. There's really not that much more they have to do.
That's
and
amazing.
we run credit. Everything is so streamlined these days. I work for a company, Cross Country Mortgage, which is known basically as a tech company. So we can take a loan from start to finish incredibly fast, and it's just not that pain. And so, plus, there are some employees who are simply W-2 employees. We don't even have to look at their tax returns. We can go just on current pay stubs and their W-2s. So if you're listening out there, don't be scared, because the scary part is if you don't retain a great realtor like JB or Gloria to get you a house. The scary part is that a year from now, that same house is going to be selling for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 more.
Right.
Because if there's one guarantee in California real estate is, at least for the last 20 years, statistics, prices keep going up and up and up. So you could be scared to talk to me, but I'm good for you. I'm good for your pocketbook.
You need somebody like Steven on your side to be able to guide you through this process, and you know what? It's not as crazy as people may think.
Yeah, Steven, I have a quick question for you. We saw those two articles about the increase in mortgage applications. Yes, mortgage applications. Did you feel that? Do you know if the extra applicants that you've had lately are owners and intend to list their properties on the market? What's your feeling about that?
Yeah, that's a
'Cause-
great question. We're
Because we
definitely
do
seeing.
see you at the office till 8 o'clock at night sometimes. So
Yeah, I'm
you're there
working.
grinding with all of us.
I'm grinding. I'm definitely. We're all, whatever job. We're all grinders. Yeah, JB, to answer your question directly, I'm actually seeing more first-time home buyers get off the fence. I think
So
people
good.
see that rents are rising. I think the word is getting out that rates are not crazy, and I think people are scared. Just like I said, one of the major benefits to buying a home is that you get your house or your condo, and you can furnish it the way you want, and you're usually happier sleeping where you are at night rather than having some landlord who hates you not fixing the toilet. So I'm a big fan of getting, so JB, yes, we're definitely seeing an uptick in mortgage applications. So one really interesting topic, this is fun, is that one of the reasons we have a big influx over the last week is that there was a program announced by the federal government we may have discussed. This is fascinating for any of your viewers that may have heard about it. It was a program by the federal government for California only called the Dream Shared Appreciation for All Loan. And the government was giving 20% free down payment assistance to certain buyers. Not a joke.
20?
20% down.
20%
The program went
down.
into effect on a Wednesday, a week and a half ago. The $300 million of funds that the government set aside was gone in 2 business days. Just like that.
Yeah, we just started talking to our clients about it, and by the time we got some feedback, all the money was gone.
2,300 purchase applications were made over the course of 48 hours.
Wow. I mean, that just shows you the appetite
Yep.
of the market right now, wanting to get into the market. I mean, it's crazy out there. I mean, it's even off-market inventory. We sell a lot of off-market inventory as well for some of our clients that want to be private, and you're seeing multiple offers on those as well. We'll talk more about those in the future, but that's interesting, Stephen.
Yeah, and so one last thing, and I know you guys have lots of agenda items. What was great about the program from the government is that many of the top realtors like yourself immediately reached out to their database of potential buyers and said, hey, here's a program. And even if the program was gone like that and they missed out, the beauty of it was that it inspired lots and lots of conversations with prospective buyers about what is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the good news is that there are special programs out there for buyers. They're not 0% down, but there's 3% down. There's FHA loans with 3.5%. There's programs in quote, neighborhoods that are called, quote, affordable that have special programs. So, like some of the people who are nervous about the root canal actually ended up talking to me. I had lots and lots and lots of conversations this week because people heard about the zero down, called me up, and I was like, oh, well, even though it's gone, what can we do? And we started writing a lot of pre-approval letters for people who were very happy with the fact that they can potentially put down 3 or 5% and get an interest rate in close to 6% still.
So let's talk a little bit about that, Stephen, because about the whole root canal feeling that these first-time home buyers may be having, right? On how to get started. How do they start? What do they need up front to be able to be ready? You spoke a little bit about that. And I think a lot of it is also comes down to money, right?
Yeah.
Your finances. So can you talk a little bit about, I think buyers have the question of like, well, how much money down do I need? How much do I need for closing cost? How much do I need to allocate for fees? And things like that. Also, like maybe like a rainy day as well, as far as reserves for the future, aside from all of these fees that I'm going to need to pay up front, right?
And and if you can maybe break down what's the smallest down payment you need depending on your budget. Let's say I know the FHA loans 3.5%, some 5%, but then if you go above $1 million, $1.5 million, you're going to need, I guess, 10% or 20%. Do you mind sharing that?
Yeah, no, those are all great. So let's start with the lower ones to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say somebody, first-time home buyer, they and their spouse are trying to buy something for, let's say, $600,000.
Mm-hmm.
A condo in wherever. You guys know the neighborhoods. So math-wise, to JB's point, you can do a loan, which is actually better than FHA, with 3% down. So just doing some simple math, let's say it's a $600,000 purchase price, 3% is obviously $18,000. And then on top of that, to Gloria's point, you need about $8,000 to $10,000 on top of that to cover third-party closing costs like escrow fee, title fee, appraisal. But you also, when you go to close, you have to buy a home insurance policy. If you're buying a condo, you may have to pay your first condo fee up front. You may have to pay some property taxes up front, and you also may have to pay your first mortgage payment up front. So there's a big difference between third-party closing costs and actual money you need to complete the transaction, because you have to prepay insurance, taxes, mortgage, etc. So, but typically on a $600,000 purchase, let's call it $10,000 above you need about $28,000 to your name. And most banks want you to have at least another $5,000 to $10,000 to your name after you close. So you're looking at
sorry,
reserves.
Stephen, for simple math, since our average price point in LA is like over 1.2 right now, it's double that. Would it be safe to say that for aside from whatever you qualify based on your finances, whether it's that 5%, that 10%, 20%, which way, aside from that, you want to have allocated at least 2.5% to 3% for your closing costs, in addition to depending on whatever the sales price would be?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Once you start getting up to JB's point over loan amount, you're right. Average California, your office, the average is by $2 million. So, but let's say it's over $1 million and you get away with putting down 10%. So call it $100,000 for 10%, and then another 10 to 15,000 for closing cost and prepaids. But to qualify for the loan, you have to have a certain amount of money to your name post-closing, which is probably at least another $40,000. And
for the reserves, right?
For the reserves, exactly. So to do the math, on $1 million, you need the 100,000, the 10,000, plus the 40,000. That's $150,000 approximately. The good news is that two pieces of really good news. One, you're allowed to get a gift from a family member towards the down payment. And secondly, if you have retirement funds, which a lot of people do, those count towards your reserves. You don't have to. People ask me all the time, well, do I have to liquidate my retirement accounts? And the answer is no. Those can be used, like JB said, for reserves. So it's not as much money. I mean, and actually, believe it or not, in LA, you can buy something for $1.2 million with 5% down.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as you keep your loan amount, it's a weird number, $1,089,000. So it's not as scary as people think. Obviously, the hardest part in today's world is raising money for the down payment. But some people have wealthy parents or wealthy friends, that are willing to give them money to help them buy a house. We have lots and lots of situations where parents are helping their kids buy homes, or grandparents are helping.
So, if I may, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What about the tax? About when you give a gift for your kids, do the kid has to pay tax on it? Or?
No, great question. Typically, and caveat, I'm a lawyer, but check with your CPA. But it's normally there's an exclusion if you're using gift funds to purchase a house. It's not a taxable event.
Okay.
So you do not have to worry about it.
Nice.
We have lots and lots of situations where people are gifting their kids a couple $100,000, and it's not taxable to them.
Good.
This is why, if I always tell people, even if you're not ready now, speak to a lender right now. even so that way you prepare for a year from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, if that's what it takes for you to save a little bit more, if that's what you're going to need.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
All right, super nice information, Stephen.
My pleasure.
Any other questions that we may have, Philippe, about mortgage? There's so much other things we can talk about in the mortgage industry, but we'll keep that for other Fridays.
Yeah.
All right.
Claudia,
Okay.
any other?
Thank you, Stephen.
So
No, I mean,
Steve,
this
yeah,
isn't a weekly basis. I mean, this is like, MBA does that survey on a weekly basis. So, I mean, things are going like this. You got to, like I said, communication is key with your team, and your team is your lender, your agent, and just to be able to accomplish that common goal. So, just stay in communication. Things can change by tomorrow.
Exactly.
All right, well-
And we have to say, we need, viewers to send us questions. Because sometimes, you are expert on this field, For me, I'm discovered it, and I'm not a good English speaker. So it's like, sometimes it's confusing, all the data and everything.
Yes.
So please send us questions.
Send us
And
questions.
we'll try to resume the answer
Yeah.
to make it really easy to understand, and we need your input, guys.
Send it.
interact.
I will
Send it.
Thank you very much. We'll see you guys
Thank
next
you,
time.
Steve.
Thank you,
Okay.
Stephen.
Have a
Bye,
great day,
Steve.
everyone.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Sure.
So
Okay, cool.
what I heard from Steve, I don't know if you heard that, but he mentioned that the increase in mortgage requests was mostly first-time home buyers. That means no extra inventory is coming our way, but more buyers. So what I think it's going to happen over the next few weeks is the bidding wars on property are going to be even more difficult because there's not going to be any extra inventory, but there's going to be even more buyers.
Yeah. Wow.
And I want to mention something about first-time home buyers, because people always think first-time home buyers, that nice young couple, 25 years old, first house, and it's not like that. In the LA market, there are so many people who rent properties for $10, $15, $20, $25,000 a month,
Yeah.
and those people want to buy their first house, so they're considered first-time home buyers, but their budget is like 3, 4, 5 million sometimes.
Yeah.
So first-time home buyer in LA, it's not just a young $1 million budget. It can be anybody. I actually have a lot of first-time home buyers working with me right now, and we're looking in anywhere between 3 to 5 million. So that shows you why the market is so hot in the west side of LA, up to $5 million. And also I want to mention that everything we're saying right now is mostly for the west side of LA and the city of LA, Beverly Hills and around, but we also hear from our office that everything above 10 million, and it's a complete different story. So that we're not talking about super high price today, we're talking 0 to 5 million. That's our experience for this week and for that specific conversation. Okay, keep us in context.
And I think if the current dip in mortgage rates can be sustained, it will keep buyers looking for homes. Not only that, but potentially draw more homeowners into the market as sellers, because there's a lot of sellers that are in the sidelines because they have great rates or whatever the case may be. But now that if the rates can be sustained, they can put their property up in the market for sale, and they become buyers as well. So that will allow more inventory in the market. So we shall see. Let's see. All the eyes on the news for the next few weeks.
So the outcome
Okay,
of
cool.
today is that it's a great time to sell a property below 5 million in LA right now.
Yeah. So make sure you buy quickly to sell.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
so where are we going now?
I think we're on our way to our super property of the week, man.
Yep. And what a property. So, okay.
Fabulous Bel Air
Let's see
property.
this.
So as you guys may or may not know, on Tuesdays in LA we have the broker caravan. That means that we can go and tour some of the most craziest properties newly available on the market. That's what we do, Gloria and I, and all the other agents of our office. We really pride ourselves in learning about our market and stay updated and see everything new. So every Tuesday I go and I tour some cool homes, and this time I wanted to show you guys a really crazy fancy house that I saw. And Gloria, you saw that house too.
It's incredible. It's listed by dear friends and colleagues of ours, Farah Levy, Marco Rufo, and Sally Foster Jones. Listed at 680,000, 10 bedrooms,
That's
Yeah.
a precise
And-
number.
16 bathrooms.
It's awesome because usually I'm editing the video that JB sent me, but here no, everything is so
It's perfect.
awesome. I
did my
didn't
best,
edit
my
it.
friend.
What would you want to edit of a property that fabulous, right?
Let's go and comment, guys. But
I mean, look at that entrance, the volume.
yeah,
I mean
The exterior is
yeah.
just insanity. I got to see it at night too, by the way.
Oh, that must be impressive.
The lighting, oof.
I mean, obviously that's an entertainer's house. You can see the space. What I really liked on that house is the living space that you see right here is a L shape. It goes the other way, and so that gigantic double living space around that corner is all open to the outside. So there's always a lot of the house open to the outside, but on that house specifically, it's this entire L shape double room is completely open to the outside. So that's a really impressive indoor-outdoor feeling, even more than usual. That's what I felt.
Yeah, look at that entrance.
yeah, and it's
Dual
there
height.
There is light everywhere.
Yeah. And you see, for those who don't know, there's like second countertop. It's mostly for
Yeah, I like the
kitchens
mix
where-
of the different materials.
Nice, yes.
That's what it's about these days. It can't just be one
Yeah.
plain Jane material. Buyers pay attention to the quality and the mix of materials.
Yeah,
It's the flooring.
Yeah.
Look at the detail.
And that's the entertainment room. You saw the ping pong table, obviously nice outdoor kitchen with everything you want, so you don't have to go back to the other kitchen for everything you're missing. That room is actually an office that you can separate. There are pocket doors inside the wall. I don't know if you saw that. And then the bar.
Look at
Yeah.
the wine cellar. I think it's like over 2,000 bottles or something like that.
Yeah.
It's,
In most of those homes, that room that we just saw with the wine cellar, the bar, the ping pong table, it's usually in the basement. You know, it's
Yeah.
not accessible directly to the backyard. That's what I liked on that house. If you're an entertainer and you really want to have a lot of people at your house and enjoy the indoor outdoor, that's the house.
I mean, can we talk about the multi-level pool? With
Hey,
that
that
sit-down
pool's
area,
crazy.
it's insane.
yeah. Look at this.
Yeah, like a lot of details, the finishes. Detail I noticed for me in that home theater, it was really steep. It's never like that. That they made it specifically with different levels. I
Yeah.
don't know. I thought it was
There's
cool.
your wellness center. Now, these
Wow.
like estates have wellness centers, basically your own spa,
Yeah. And once again, like giant window that opens to the backyard again.
sauna. Woo, look at that.
Look at that bathtub. I mean, come
I
on.
think it's the hot and cool plunge.
And there's that, yeah. I was looking at that shower head and that bathtub. I couldn't understand all of it, but that's fine. Nice sauna. They say 3 times sauna per week will extend your life. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, I guess you can enjoy.
and you need it to pay the house.
There we go, back towards that bar
You can do
area.
50
I'm all
years
about the
mortgage.
wine.
Well, you do a jumbo loan on half the price of that house. It's only gonna cost you like what, 150K a month.
Yeah, come on.
I'm kidding. We'll ask Steve next time for Mortgage.
Okay, we're gonna go upstairs. So, so the primary
good.
suite is 2,700
No
square feet, just for the primary suite that we're about to see right now.
Oh,
Oh, and that wine cellar was 1,000 bottles.
Okay.
Woo!
So I think, yeah.
I think I'm only up to 200 and something in my collection. Wow.
So we're in that primary
which
suite.
is not bad.
Here
Actually,
is
yeah.
Yeah.
here is the primary suite. It's basically like larger than homes. 2,700 square feet. Larger than my place.
So steam shower, you can see the screen on the back. Nice tub.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oversized closets, just sitting rooms, and it has its own office, a little patio, fireplace.
oh, and that house has two very sick walk-in closets.
Look at that. Oh,
That's only one.
dream.
It's like 30 feet long.
Larger than my kitchen. I
And
love all the sitting areas in that primary area. So,
and that's the second one, and it's also deep. Like, I'm not sure if I'm showing it. I think so, yeah. It's still pretty deep. It's very impressive.
You need like a rollerblade, no, to to visit
yeah, you
the
need
house.
like a little go-kart.
Yes.
A go-kart to go around the whole property.
They should put some lights, to for the circulation.
Like the tarmac, yeah, at the airport.
The perfect property if you also want your privacy. You can be in your corner, I'll be in my corner.
You get lost, no? It's
I couldn't film all of it. It was so big. So,
no more batteries in the phone.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the kitchen alone is 1,300 square feet.
yeah.
Just that area.
Reminds me, I saw that video, that property, the one at 100,000 square feet.
Oh, yeah. Huh?
And I saw that YouTube video, and the guy was showing the house, and every time he had to stop in between rooms and breathe again because he was walking so much to go to the next room. And he was like, wait.
So you don't even to have a gym room in those kind of house because you're just walking in
Yeah.
it and you're healthy.
Yeah, by the time you get there, you got your workout in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But look at the walls. See the detail of.
So on top of those stairs, you have two extra rooms, suites. They obviously have their own bathrooms.
Because why
With
not?
drums.
You just need those extra 2 rooms.
There
you
is
know?
drums.
And one thing I don't think we'll see on that video because it was a separate video. There is a 2-bedroom detached. There is a 2-bedroom apartment detached on the back of the property. That is super nice. So if you have your guests, they're not coming here.
And they don't
separate.
fit in the main
Yeah,
house.
because you can't have them. It's too. It's not enough room, So,
Send them to the guest house.
Yeah. I mean, I want that guest house. That guest house is bigger than my apartment. So.
of course, yeah.
No, the guest house is really
But-
nice.
Wow, look at
JB, did you notice Philippe notice the drums?
Yeah,
Of course he would
I
notice
saw the drums.
It's the musician inside him. The
Uh,
multi-level
Okay, cool.
pool, outdoor jacuzzi was really sick. So that all those special features of those homes.
It's unbelievable. I think we're just so lucky to be in this field and just to get to the opportunity to experience and some of these properties at this level, and just really just elevates it. But well, that was cool, guys.
Yeah, so
A little more of a data segment and real estate world. But looking forward to next week. Excuse me. We're gonna have our guest Diana Alon, a friend and colleague, and just a power boss lady in the business. She owns LDC Capital Escrow, so we're going to be speaking about escrow, but not only about escrow. She owns a real estate company. She represents government entities, so she has a lot of insight of what's happening in the market, what is she seeing on her side. So I'm really looking forward to having her on next week. So make sure
Cool.
you tune in because it's going to be awesome,
Yeah.
and we're going to get some top secret stuff.
Nice. Exciting.
Great. So let's see you guys next week.
All right.
See you
Thank you,
next
team.
week.
Okay,
Thank you,
cool.
guys.
Thank you
viewers.
for tuning in.
See you next week.
See you. Bye bye.
All right.
Adios.